happier than God. Note from the rewriter of this text. Not the author. Dear reader, I'm Jorge and currently live Bogota, Colombia, and I want to tell you that after reading this book the first time, I felt deeply touched and inspired to share this information due to the excellent quality of its content, which will also surely not only motivate you but also share and recommend it to people who you meet in your path in an altruistic impulse that you will hardly refrain. This book now in your possession, reached me in a providential way. After having purchased it in Kindle format at Amazon.com, I decided to share it deliberately with everyone who wanted to get it. So I typed it entirety, except the prologue and acknowledgments. Aware of the importance of keeping the original message unaltered and motivated to offer complementary sources of the same quality, I refer some complementary chapters from other sources with similar meaning to provide you another view that will help you to comprehend the original message from a different perspective. These chapters are available for download in the same download link. If, after reading this book, you feel inspired to participate in a spiritual movement to alleviate the pain of those who suffer because of starvation, civil wars or sickness all over the world, please join us to the WhatsApp group 57316-848-1277, or if you just want to interact closely with other readers or want to share opinions, you are going to be more than welcome. At first instance, we will handle the information in Spanish and English, later we will add more options. On the other hand, it is also very useful to translate this material into other languages, so all assistance is welcome too. So I am in the translation process into Spanish and all the help in this will be very valuable. To conclude, I wish to tell to Mr. Neale Donald Walsch, the author, that I regret to affect his profits for the people who get this book by the downloading link, and urge the readers to be motivated to buy the original book as a gratitude sign. Any word of gratitude from me to Mr. Donald is insufficient to write down all my admiration and respect for his work. Jorge Gasca. Chapter 1. You are now witnessing an extraordinary mechanism. Life was meant to be happy. Do you believe that? It's true. I know it doesn't seem like it when you look around, but it's true. Life was meant to be happy. You were meant to be happy. And if you are happy, you were meant to be happier. Even if you are very happy, you can be even happier. How happy? Just how happy can you be? You can be happier than God. I once hear a lady describing a gentleman who was very wealthy. She said, he got more money than God. That's how I mean this. I mean to use the ultimate superlative. I also mean the words I have used literally. I mean just what the words say. Which brings up a lot of questions. Does this mean that God even experiences the thing called happiness? Yes. Does that mean that God experiences unhappiness? No. If we can be happier than God, does that mean that we are separate from God? No. Then how's this possible? Well, as it happens, there is a formula by which you can be happier than God. All mystics have known it, most teachers of mystical wisdom have known it, some contemporary spiritual messengers know it, but it's become, through the centuries, sort of a mystery formula, because it's not talked about very much. Not very much at all. Why? Simple. Very few of the folks to whom spiritual teachers and messengers might be talking have been able to believe what the mystery formula is said to be able to produce. And when you talk about things that no one is able to believe, you can become very unpopular. So even today, in that is supposed to be a time of intellectual and spiritual enlightenment, not many teachers and spiritual messengers reveal this formula, even if they know it. Or if they are talking about it, they are talking about only half of it, the most breathtaking part of this formula, under wraps. So what we have here is an amazing truth, but you don't know the half of it. What good is a truth if it's not fully revealed? None at all, of course. In fact, only half or the truth can be misleading. It can even be dangerous. So we're going to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth here. We'll start with a look at why you're holding this book, and when we finish, we'll have described an extraordinary mechanism. Okay? Good. Here goes. Ask yourself why you picked up this book. Never mind. I'll tell you. You picked up this book on an impulse. And where did that impulse come from? You. It came from you. Why? Why did that impulse originate in you? What caused it to happen? And from what part of you did it come? Those answers take up much of this book, and they're pretty darned exciting. But for now, let's move to an even larger question. How is it that this just happened to be here, right here, where you are, right now, for you to even see, much less have an impulse about? Ah, yes, now that is the key question. If you knew the answer to that question, you could change your whole life. Here's the answer to that question. Get ready to change your whole life. This book just happened to be here, right now, because you placed it here. You caused it to be here. Okay, look, we're going to explore a lot of things that strain credulity here, so you're going to have to stick with me on this. I told you that the reason that even contemporary spiritual messengers were not coming right out and telling you this is because so few people can believe it, yes. So you get to decide right here. Do you wish to be among them? Or do you want to move past those borders? Beyond the reaches of our present ideas and constructions? If you do, keep turning the pages here and hang on to your seat. You caused this book to be here right now. It may not seem as though you did this, but you did. How? With quantum physics. Often people use quantum physics without knowing it. That is, without being consciously aware of it. Quantum physics, read that, science, in case you think this is far-fetched, says that nothing that is observed is unaffected by the observer. If this is true, and it is, then you played a role in all of what is now occurring, exactly as it's occurring. The only question is whether you did this consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, wittingly or unwittingly. But you did it, I assure you. You attracted this book to you and you caused yourself to be aware of it, and you are now reading it, all out or your deep desire to be happier. This book made its way from my keyboard to my publishing house to your bookseller to your hands in a way that has nothing to do with accident or coincidence and happenstance. None of this has occurred by chance. So be happy. You have just witnessed the most extraordinary mechanism in the universe. You have just witnessed the mechanism of manifestation. Let me put this another way. You have just witnessed God in action. And if that doesn't make you happy, nothing will.